Coming soon. To OLE. See you soon.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Bulls are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway. I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat of time, I've crossed the lines just to tell you. Don't lead the way, don't leave a sign. That I draw with a color playing the rain. I feel like I'm fading. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this summer. Well, I was about to say SummerSlam. My God, my brain is fried. Saturday night, Jesus Christ. You could, anyway, different thing. Saturday night main event review show. It is me. I'm producing. God help you all. And we are here today alongside the wonderful, the absolutely brilliant, the enigma, the most brilliant thing coming out of Ring of Honor that is not their actual show. It is Auntie Collins. How you doing, my love?
I'm doing all right. It's been a very weird progression to get here, but hey, we're here. It's Saturday evening for me. It's early morning for you.
It's so early.
And definitely. So last night, I'll share before we start. Last night was my company's holiday party.
Uh-oh.
And anytime there's free booze and free food, I'm there. So I got there a little bit late because I fell over a baby gate. It's my third time falling this week. So I have proper skinned knees. Like my elbow hurts. There was like blood on my walls. Like
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. My husband was talking about D&D, and it's like some people like have like a natural roll 6, and I was like, I feel like I have a natural roll 1. Like I breathe wrong and something happens. So it's all the way in downtown Seattle. It was raining. I took an Uber and a train, to get there, so I'm not driving, which is totally great. Had myself a couple tequilas, and I was like, wow, it must be like 1 a.m. I looked at my phone. It was 8:30. It's like, oh. And you feel yourself and you're like, I'm getting a little bit toasty here. Like if I keep going, I'm going to be on top of that bar dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be that story for my first Christmas party with this company. And what do you know? I left before things got too crazy. 8:30 p.m. in bed by 9:30.
Yeah, well done. That is a very reasonable. If we're going to go off with that, when it was my stag do, we left. I think it was around about 11 o'clock in the morning, We went to a pub, and then we had a few drinks, went go-karting, and then we carried on drinking on the way back. And it was dark, and I was like, I could really go to bed now. I could eat some food and I'll go to bed. I'm really tired at this point. I'm feeling a little bit as well. And I looked at my watch. It was like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I went, I can't bail yet, can I? I can't bail yet. But we got a couple people in chat already. Bobby Stats is here. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. And we've got the legend, Millie. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going okay. Right, before we get into things and before we go into it, overall, we'll get into all the matches and your end thoughts on it all. But what were your overall thoughts going into this and what you were expecting of it before the event happened?
Had I done a prediction stream or had I done a prediction show, I would have gotten all of these accurate. So it wasn't going into this going, wow, I think this is going to be overly shocking. There's going to be things that are happening, surprises. It wasn't that kind of show. But I think what WWE does really great with their PLEs and even their special shows like Saturday Night Main Event is that they get the nostalgia pop. They produce it really well, and the pacing always seems correct. Mm-hmm. When I say producing, I mean camera shots, camera angles, video packages. The pyro is back. The people in the crowd were back. Did I care for all of the commercials? No. But, it felt, I don't know, it felt nostalgia enough that it was familiar, but it was a great show nonetheless. So what did you think?
We got some breaking news. Our Saturday night main event went off air. Kevin Owens has attacked Cody Rhodes and hit a pile driver into the middle, a package pile driver, which if you play the WWE game, he does a lot, in the middle of the ring. So Cody Rhodes may be looking to be going out for a while, or what that they're going to carry on with that feud. Because as you can see in the chat, we currently got from the Twitch side, Mike the ref saying justice for Kevin. Kevin was robbed. Well done, Kevin, for beating up Cody. And that prompted me to go on to X. And as soon as I clicked on it, that was the first video. And Cody Rhodes has been stretchered out of Saturday night main event after the show. Triple H is apparently as well. There is an angle of a camera where Kevin Owens has taken the Wing Championship. Triple H has come out and snatched it away from him and threw it off him, and they've gone face to face and shoving. Triple H and Kevin Owens. It looks like that could be interesting. Oh, Triple H shoving Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was like, oh my God, that's a time to play the game kind of shove. That's I know that you can't wrestle, but that's
going to be interesting how they're going to move on from that, as Mike the ref has said as well. And Ed is in the chat as well, saying, glad to see the best looking world title in history of professional wrestling with the winged eagle. Very much so. But we're going to. I feel like a news reporter at this point. I will keep you updated if there's any more breaking news as we follow. But yeah, it's surreal time currently. We could hear commentators talking about what they're planning on doing during an ad break. That also happened as well. I don't know whether you had that over in the US, but on the YouTube side, we had. I need to talk to you, States, as well. You have way too many ad breaks during a show. I have never watched a 2-hour show in my life and about 45 ad breaks. What is wrong with you all? It's ridiculous. I watch football, 45 minutes of football, and then it has like a 10-minute ad break. My football, not your thing that you call football, but you throw it even though you do it. Yes. Very much so. But I wouldn't compare it to AEW because there's levels to this game and AEW can sell it out. Shots fired already, and I'm 2 minutes in. So
Wow.
I know I'm on a roll. By the way, I have got notes because I have not on matches, on topical discussions that have happened in the world that are relevant slash not relevant to what we're going to be discussing. And talking about relevancy, because Drew McIntyre had 99 problems, but he got rid of one of them. And that was coming up in this match here. Yes, I will be making sly jokes about that. Yeah.
I'm gonna be laughing all night. Apparently, why
Yeah.
does Sammy look cross-eyed in that picture? Come on, could
'cause
they
he
not
doesn't-
have used a better picture of him?
No, because that's Sami Zayn, what he actually looks like.
Oh my
So
god!
we're going to kick off with the first match of the night. It was, we've got, go on the chat. Hello, EO Sky, winner Royal Rumble Challenge or Rhea WrestleMania 41. I'm tired of the, we'll get to that. Stick around, Logan James. By the way, great name. Stick around because we are definitely going to be getting to that as well a little bit later on. So make sure you're here. But first match of the night, as we said, was Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. With Drew now coming back and wanting to take out the OG bloodline, as it's now being called, one at a time. And there has been footage shown online for next week's SmackDown where Drew McIntyre goes face-to-face with Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But Auntie Collins, I want to get your thoughts on the fraud Sami Zayn losing. My hatred still lives on from WrestleMania.
Listen, we had a conversation about that.
We did.
This was a perfect match to start off with. Absolutely perfect match. You know that any feud that Drew McIntyre has now is basically a blood feud. Like, he's just mad at everyone that brings him down. So I'm all for that. I would like to see the Blue Thunderbomb actually the finisher for Sami Zayn, but you know, that would mean changing part of his character, I guess. But definitely the crowd was behind Drew McIntyre here because, I mean, that 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1 Claymore absolutely rocked me.
I loved it.
I'm pretty sure I can't remember what I wrote, but I was like, wow, that's kind of sadistic of Drew McIntyre to kind of lure Sami Zayn in for that Claymore to take the win after the rinse repeat that they were going back and forth and countering each other's moves. But that one hesitation for Sami Zayn to kind of try to follow Drew McIntyre outside the ring for shenanigans to ensue. I don't know. I figured that Drew McIntyre was going to win. I wasn't sure exactly how, but this is kind of exactly how I thought it would happen. Their chemistry is undeniable. But Daddy Drew gets me every time. What can I say?
Yeah, and I agree. I think their chemistry was brilliant. As I said, the thing that annoyed me the most about the show was the ad breaks, because if there wasn't ad breaks, the more that they would have done during that as well would have been better. Because it felt to me like there was a good stint and then it stopped and then we come back and all of a sudden Claymore done. And I was like, whoa, we could have gone a little
What
bit
is
longer.
happening?
Yeah, it feels like a very fast-paced SmackDown with loads of titles on the line. But at the same time, very good match. Drew McIntyre looking like the end goal for him will be Roman Reigns again before he goes after a world title. I think that's probably the end goal, because if he's going after Jay, Sami, Jimmy, there's one left. So I'm presuming, I'm going to call it now. If I'm right, I'm a genius. If I'm wrong, then that's Triple H's fault. So I'm going to call it now. Drew McIntyre is going to cost Roman Reigns on the 3rd of January in the Bloodline rules for the Ula Fala. I think that the next week SmackDown is going to build for Drew McIntyre to cost Roman Reigns on Netflix, and it will be Solo Sikoa. I love you, Solo. Will carry on being the tribal chief up until when The Rock decides he wants to return from that, until he stopped filming Moana, the real life Moana. But no, overall, okay. So we're going to do this thing. We did it on the TNA shows when I was doing it with Astrid. We're gonna rate the match out of 10. We're going to do each match. This is Auntie Collins knows nothing that's going to come out of my mouth, so it's a surprise to both of us because I don't know half the time. And also, Mike the ref, stop it. We're not bringing Gallus in. Stop it. Please don't. And Bobby says, and I could see Drew McIntyre eliminated Roman Reigns in the men's. Yes, that could also happen.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you've got to think about WrestleMania, because according to plans, so-called plans, Drew McIntyre is going to be facing the Linganarao at WrestleMania for the world title, where Gunther will lose, and I will cry, and I will not be in OLE for about a month, which will be good thing
getting
for
that
Ed.
moment back, right?
No, he don't deserve it. He's Scottish. Yes. I realised I flicked between characters then. I got it after. Yeah, we've already spoke about that, Logan James. We're going to get a little bit more into that as well once I get my news broken to me from people in the chat. That makes me go and have a look at him even more. But yeah, so out of 10, what would you rate this match?
A 7. It wasn't my favorite match, especially not tonight. It was not my favorite match of the night. Was it a see, this is the thing of like, was it a great opening match?
Yeah.
Yes. Could I see this anywhere else on the card fitting? I don't know. It was very high intensity, very counter, very emotional. Like it kind of got that, stimuli going where it's like, okay, this is the start of this show. This is kind of everything that Saturday Night Main Event is about. But I don't know if it could hold a candle to other matches this year. It wasn't my favorite match. Definitely not of either of those two. So a 7, because it played to the strengths of being the opening match and heightening those intense moments, those near falls, getting the blood pumping, so to speak. Good foreplay, I would say, but it didn't wow my trousers yet. I'm trying with my.
When you use the word foreplay, warm my trousers.
I mean, exactly what it sounds like.
Yes, my brain went in a whole wrong direction.
Because there are first matches, opening matches of shows that I'm like, wow, that could have been the main event. You insert slot, middle, pre-main event, whatever, that they could hold a candle to it. And that's not what this match did for me. But I don't want to take away from the fact that it was a great match. Yeah. Well placed.
I agree. I think I'm going to go with you with a 7 out of 10 as well. Great foreplay, getting my juices flowing. Anyway, there's an analogy there that I could carry on going, but I know I'll get myself in trouble. Next, we're going to get into the next match here, and it was for the WWE Women's World Champ. I'm going to call it the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to go with that. Io Sky, the genius of the Sky, versus Liv Morgan, where this was really, for me, can Liv Morgan hang? Because the Io Sky is potentially probably the best women's wrestler on the roster right now, I think, up there. You could. This match didn't help her to cement my case for it. A few little mishaps here and there, but Liv Morgan, I thought, I'll kick things off. I thought Liv Morgan did really well when Io Sky slipped off the top rope and went straight into the, I'm going to call it the code breaker for it, because the other one cannot break any walls down anymore because he's about 55. So I think this was a really good match. This really did showcase that if you put Liv Morgan in a ring with people, that it's going to be a wrestling match, not a storyline match. Liv Morgan can go. And she's also got the storyline with it, which come at the end of the match. But we are going to go back to that comment that come up earlier about Liv Morgan from Logan James. That happened a little bit. Is it Logan James a little bit earlier on? Yes, it was from a little bit earlier on. But Auntie, overall thoughts of this match?
Oh my gosh, I love anything that Io Sky does. Really, like there's not a lot that she can do. She could wrestle, a dummy. She could wrestle the air. It would be good. The fast and furious nature, I guess, of Liv and Io was exactly what we kind of needed. If we were going to have that high intensity match that raised our blood pressure, we needed that translated into this match. I think Io kind of took it right out the gate and made me go, oh, we could see a new champion here. I could be totally wrong. I missed this opportunity? Is it going to be a 3-way at WrestleMania then with Io, Liv, and Rhea? What are we doing here? Have I discounted Io from that main title contention? That storyline that's been going on. But this is also where the ads really kind of took me out of the story, because I'm trying to figure out what the storyline is of these two wrestling, right? I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do you take someone so fast and known for being in the sky, kind of, jumping off the top rope? How do you ground someone so that you can get that advantage? Especially since Liv Morgan is so hard hitting. Yes, she can do those flippy dippy stuff, but how do you get Io on the ground so that she isn't, doing a moonsault right into your face? That double-footed springboard drop kick from Io, that looks so brutal. How do you get someone to stop? And it's literally moving out of the way. What brilliant move for Liv Morgan of just move. Just roll out of the way. And I think them going beat for beat with each other were really stifled by all of the ads. Felt like it was hot and cold. Like, okay, we're not even doing a picture in picture. Like, I have no concept of what is happening. So that was my, downfall of this match. The moonsault by Io being blocked with the double feet from Liv Morgan was such a good way to counter that. And in the end, the oblivion with Liv getting that, and still fantastic end to the match. But man, it was so like, oh, could Io do this? Which I didn't feel in the previous match, because there really wasn't any title on the line. It was just, I know that Drew is going to win. Sami can't win. Sami has never won against Drew McIntyre. But here, I truly believed for a second, Io could win over Liv.
Yeah.
And is that the plan? However, at the end, as she's leaving, we know that that's not going to be the story. But I want to hear your thoughts, because I feel like I was complaining a little bit.
No. You were right in the certain aspects of it, and I think Mike the ref has hit the nail on the head here with certain things. Saturday Night Main Event in the 90s weren't meant to be great in storytellers; they were just to sell their next, which is Netflix.
That's still a story. That's still some sort of cliffhanger. That's still some sort of progression into WrestleMania season.
I'm going to call, and I do think that I don't think WWE are looking at the January 6th Netflix start as the road to WrestleMania, they're looking at that as this is our WrestleMania. So they're going to stack pack this show because apparently there's already plans for Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. You've got Drew McIntyre probably costing Roman Reigns the Ula Fala. You've also got potential. The Rock is going to be there. John Cena's going to be starting his year-long end tour as well.
He's my pick for the Rumble, by the way.
Yeah. I don't want John Cena to win the Rumble. I want him to win the title after Mania. I want him to beat Flair.
No.
That's the only thing. I want it to be on Drew McIntyre so that when John Cena does lose it, it will be back to Gunther and it will make me happy again. But here we go. So Io Sky, winner of the Royal Rumble, challenging Rhea? No. I think actually you could. I think if she does win the Rumble, it will be after Nia Jax's title. I don't think it will be, but it won't be Nia Jax champion then. It will be Tiffany. And Tiffany will be very soon. Because when the cash-in is happening soon is when the Money in the Bank holder starts losing. Clean. You know it's coming sooner than you think. WWE 101, that is. And where does Io Sky go from here? Just being the absolute talent she is. I think put her in the ring with anyone. The Women's Intercontinental, I don't think she's in that tournament, but there's a potential there. The first, whoever wins it, first challenger being Io Sky.
I mean, we already kind of saw in the Elimination Chamber, or not the Elimination Chamber, in War Games, her versus Bayley. Let's run that back.
Yeah, that needs to be.
Let's keep going.
Yeah,
that needs to be resolved.
That needs to be a blowout there, or just one final time. I think between them could be the way. So, does WWE make January 6th Raw? Yes. I won't go that far, but what I will say is we won't worry about We won't worry about ad breaks because Netflix doesn't have any. Anyway.
Also with Wrestle Dynasty, they're not going to adhere to North American.
No.
Time. It's going to be overnight, right? All of those things are going to be.
Yeah. And the best thing about Netflix is that whatever country they're in, they're going to do it to that time zone, so I don't have to wait up with some shows till 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I know there will be ad breaks, but not as many as there were hopefully tonight. That they could literally go, yeah, we don't need an ad break the first hour. They don't have to do the stupid amount to catch up with it because they didn't do any in the first hour. Because they make the rules.
Mm-hmm.
That DX reference.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But there's also something to say with at least with Raw, there's actually segments, right? Where it's here's a promo here, here's a video package here. You can do the picture-in-picture kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whatever is contracted. I always feel like Raw in the 3 hours, for me personally, I get tired at the 3 hour mark. So the first 2 hours for me have always been pretty evenly paced, at least the last year. So go back to 2017 and that's a different story.
This pairing may be a regular thing. Or you may never see again. Depends on how things go tonight.
That sounds like one of us is going to end up living and the other is going to end up to their demise.
No, because we're both tired. And I have notes of random topics. I've already said 99 problems. And Drew McIntyre's already got rid of one, unlike Jay-Z. And now we've got Io Sky and Liv Morgan. There's too many jokes going on with this. I was about to go off topic and say there's too many jokes about the whole situation, but I need to do the Illuminati thing so I don't get killed off. So Oh, by the way, because we're doing a show as well, I have to thank Beyonce for everything that she's ever done for all women and all people of power. Because apparently, if you don't thank Beyonce, you could be in trouble. So I'm thanking Beyonce. That's a thing going around on the internet.
What?
I know. Anyway, rate the match out of 10 before I start losing my shit.
Oh my god. Okay. This was an 8.
No, before we go any further, no, Taylor, you don't switch. You have to thank her if you're around her fans. If you're on internet, if you're in front of a camera, you have to thank Beyonce. Also, I love you, Taylor Swift, and all Swifties out there. Love you.
Okay, how do you do this for your
I
heart?
do that. I don't ever do hearts. I just do that. But also, it looks very dodgy when I do it because I've got fat fingers. So I don't know.
I can't do it. My niece was showing me
Yeah,
that.
my daughter did that the other. But now I look like I'm making the Illuminati sign.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't.
So I'm in trouble
like
now.
Raptor hands.
If I don't make it back to early, you know, Beyonce's got me. So, right, before we go further, right, rate this match out of 10.
Okay, I said 8 out of 10. I thought it was better paced than the match before. Downplay is definitely how many ads there were.
Yeah.
There was too much time in between that first segment and that second segment of where the ad breaks were, so I was lost in who had the upper hand going into it when it returned. But that last little bit, that last segment of getting the knees up, you know, with that double-footed springboard, all of that segment, and then going into the Oblivion, and then not even mentioning the post-match stuff. It's a great pairing. I know. If there is, oh my gosh.
Anyway, yeah, I agree with that. I do want to quickly run back to this. Talking about Rhea getting tired of the feud. I am slightly I love a long-term storytelling, but it's a bit like Damian Priest with Finn Bálor at the moment, and the same with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. That they're not pivoting and then coming back. It's just that, and it's in your face, and it's like, could Rhea Ripley just go off somewhere and sort of do something with someone else, but Liv Morgan costs her, while Liv Morgan does her own thing as well, and sort of pivot back to it a little bit later on. But it seems to be
even
just
go after Raquel, just like keep picking off like people she's been aligning with.
Rhea versus Dom. Rhea versus Dom. Book it. And I love Dom, but that is a match I want to see. But as we're going to get into the next match, which is the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, this match did not disappoint, unlike the internet that decided to buy meme coins from a girl on the internet that decided to make it famous for having Huck Tour, who decided to make a meme coin or a Bitcoin, and then people have lost thousands of pounds because they thought it was a good idea to invest. Anyway, you did get disappointed. Yes, trust me, read about it. It is brilliant.
She made a Bitcoin?
No, yeah, so she made a meme coin. It's called a meme coin. So basically, what it is she's a meme of the
spit on that thing.
Spit on that thing. The way
was a great American accent. I love that.
Thank you very much. That is the only accent I know. Because anyway, so with that, so she made a coin. So basically, this coin was going to be investment for people to buy stuff from, like her merch, her free shows and stuff like that. But what they did take into account was that it's Bitcoin, and that
So they pumped and dumped it.
So there are apparently three people that pumped, and they've made about $4 million each from pumping and dumping. By the way, dodgy wording. Shouldn't be talking about that. Triple threat match.
Listen, if there's anything I relate to more in wrestling,
yes, I am upset. If I could find a way of making millions by doing a Bitcoin,
Do you think that she's smart enough to know that that's
Yes.
pumping and dumping?
Yeah.
You think that she's smart enough to know? That's
Oh
like,
yeah,
what
she's
she was
not.
doing was wrong?
She. If you look at the people, so this is the funny thing, right? This is going so off topic now.
Mhm.
But with her, we have to abide by the laws. So the coin of the bank that or wherever the money goes to is in the Cayman Islands. Now, I'm not being funny. Anyone with a slight brain knows the Cayman Islands is very well known for hiding money,
Yeah.
not doing much with it. But yes, and I very much agree with this. If you decided it was a good idea to pump money into a girl that was famous for spitting on things, then you are the plonker and you deserve not to have any money.
I feel like because Kim Kardashian did the same thing, and then she cried, "Oh, I had no idea that." Not spit on that thing,
No,
but
I was going to say.
she had her own coin. She had like a Kim K coin or whatever.
Well, technically she did, and then got famous, and then got a coin. Anyway, talking about Kim Kardashian, this was a massive game for it. And Gunther versus Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. For me, this is match of the night. The Ring General is back. The man, the most beautiful professional wrestler in the world, the greatest wrestler that has existed in all of wrestling, has finally got his mojo back. Yeah, baby. And was able to pick up an absolutely incredible win. Auntie Collins, we've talked about Hawk Tour, we've talked about Jay-Z, we've talked about I've got another topic that is quite interesting that won't get me in trouble, or might do. But what did you think about this match? Bobby Stats, we will get to your question in a second. I just saw it in the comments.
These are my favorite entrances. I feel like Gunther, Finn Balor, even with the weird bag on his head, I get it. It's whatever. And then Damian Priest finally getting the lineup of the wings on him in with the Jumbotron. They haven't done that yet. I haven't even commented on how much I loved this setup.
Yeah.
Right? This is very old school. Looked very similar to how they did it for Puerto Rico, which was very like fan forward. You could see the fans. And I think that that's one thing that like AEW, in my opinion, really does not do well is their stage presence. Right?
The only thing?
Well, there's a lot of things.
Yeah,
that I would do
carry on. I'm not shitting on them anymore.
I have thoughts about all the brands, but there's something about, and I said it in the beginning, WWE's production value is just so much better. It's clearer. It's different for different venues. This felt so cool. And I love how we got the match started because we started off and it was hot. You know, the thing with triple threats, right? They get they can get pretty convoluted as you start going, right? This is no DQ. Whoever gets pinned, matters in this match because you could definitely lose your title and you're not even pinned. So the pressure is on for Gunther. There was a scary moment that I wanted to mention where Damian Priest did go for a dive over the ropes onto Gunther, but it looked like he got his like thigh or like upper leg caught. It could have gone so bad, but I think because he's so tall, it didn't look too brutal. But he avoided like slamming his head on the ground, all the things, and he played it off like it didn't even happen, like it wasn't even a big deal. And I think it's because he's such a big guy that he didn't get more seriously injured. So that scared me during the match because, I share Punishment Martinez. We share the same last name. Come on. Like, I love this guy so much, and I never want to see any wrestler get injured, especially doing something that they love. But this match was everything that I hoped for and more. There was chaos. There was enough chaos with the triple threat. Gunther just looks so freaking good. I know that it's hard to compare, like his first run, then he lost the title, and now getting it back. I can't really compare the two, but he's just so dominating. And the way that he answers things with his big boot in your freaking face, gosh, that'll stop any momentum in his tracks for him to start getting that upper hand. And man, those freaking power bombs all over the ring. Gosh, what a great match. And I don't want to say because Finn Balor was the smaller man in this match that he couldn't compare to the size, but even seeing Damian Priest do the Razor's Edge with Gunther, like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? And commentary kept calling certain moves of his incorrect, and I was like, what are we doing here? And mentioning, oh, he's like the second Undertaker. He's the first Damian Priest, but if any wrestler we're going to compare him to is Razor Ramon, because he does that Razor's Edge just as nice and just as pretty. But man, I just like big boys doing big boy things, and Finn Balor trying to keep up. Great match, A+.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And the one thing that I remember in a promo, Gunther said to Finn Balor, he said, "I looked up to you," and because Finn Balor was the big cheese in Europe for a long time, and Gunther was coming up, and then that's when Finn Balor sort of left and went to Japan, Gunther then took over the European scene and then become the absolute monster he is now. But I want to say as well, just how dominant at the end Gunther was when he went for that powerbomb, but then they misjudged the leg for Damian Priest and he hit his leg on the steel steps, and then Gunther held him, and you could tell exactly what he was going to do because he held him and he went, and then he took a breath, and then he went for it, and the strength. And then as soon as that powerbomb happened on the steel steps, I went, yeah, he's won. Because as he ran in the ring and he hit those double drop kicks into the ring post, just like what Finn Balor does, but there's just more venom when Gunther does it, and then into the powerbomb. It was brilliant, and that match was match of the night for me personally. I thought that was a great way to finish that story off. And this is a very good question here. What's next for Gunther? Well, there's a certain person that wants to retire, and he has one match, and he wants to be next. Please don't let this happen, Triple H. Do not let Goldberg beat Gunther. For the love of God, I will fly to America and I will poo right outside your office if you do this. But no, I don't know what's going to be next for Gunther because I think the story with Gunther is now going to turn to this. Ludwig Kaiser will be a great WWE Intercontinental. He won't beat Bron Breakker, but at some point, Ludwig will be a singles champion. With it, Ludwig needs to what is the word? He's so good in the ring and he's so good on the microphone. He needs to finesse it. I think that's the right word to use. He needs to finesse it. He's got it, but he's not combining it at the moment. Where Gunther is, he's now this absolutely horrible heel. Where now he's starting to get cheers, and there's people. When wrestlers are world champions and they're heels and they start getting cheered, you know, on the internet they're going to go, "I'm bored of Gunther as world champion now." Shut up, dickhead.
Well, here's the thing. I think even by Gunther retaining in this specific match, it's proved time and time again it's not a fluke.
No.
All of this success, all of these matches, all of these title belts.
Yep.
It's these long reigns. They're not a fluke. No. And every match that he's in, he has gone toe to toe, whether he loses or wins. But if I'm right there with you, if Goldberg happens and Goldberg suddenly beats him, we got to take him out.
I'm fully
take out him to pasture. Goodbye, Goldberg. It's great knowing you.
No, I can't even. I was about to make a comment then, and I was like, no, that one is way too far. Love you, Beyonce. Love you,
Yeah,
Beyonce.
love you, Beyonce.
So, love you, Beyonce. No, yeah, very much so. I don't know where Gunther goes from here. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk is coming up. The winner of that could potentially be facing Gunther at the Royal Rumble, potentially one of them. And then you'll have Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. You've got the options as well of Kevin Owens, maybe once the story is finished with Cody Rhodes, that he could potentially come over. I don't know whether this is a way of writing Cody Rhodes off or this was a way of writing Kevin Owens off, but one of them is going to be going away or being transferred because WWE are now doing the transfer window, but they're not doing transfer money like football, proper football, which is annoying me on that end. But before we get into the actually, this wasn't match of the night. This was second best because the next match was my match of the night. So, but I will explain why in a minute. But before we get into that, can you please, out of 10, what would you rate this match?
I don't want to give any match on here a 10 out of 10 because I really
you're
like
one of them. There's always room for improvement. Ow.
No, it's not that it's room for improvement. It's that there's ad breaks.
We both said the same thing. Ad breaks. Ad breaks ruined it.
That's the thing. The ad. If this were a different thing, that sucks because now I want to be there. Can I go back in time? Fly to Long Island? Boo. Can I? Anytime anyone says that my accent, especially when I get going, is from Long Island.
Coffee.
No, I'm not from Long Island. I'm from North Jersey. Get it right.
Completely different thing. Completely different.
I'm a little bit more trash, but I'm at least proud of it.
Fair enough. Right, out of 10, you're waffling now.
I know I'm waffling. 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, I'm giving it a 10. You've annoyed me now. With your 9.5 crap.
Wasn't in the Tokyo Dome, so sorry.
Oh, no. If it's in the Tokyo Dome, that's a 20 out of 10. Remember, that's a Dave Meltzer rating for you. Next match is my match of the night. And just like the drones over New Jersey, no one saw what was coming, what was going to happen. No one knows where it's going. But this match was phenomenal. I have all right. So, quick personal thing. My son is awake. It's currently 4:00 in the morning. My wife hasn't slept. My son, he's got non-verbal autistic. Doesn't really read times of the day or anything like that. He will randomly fall asleep, wake up, and just disrupt everyone. So my wife was currently in the living room where I am now, and we were watching it together. This is the only time that woman ever watches wrestling is when I force her to watch it. And we were watching it, and she went, "Why are you celebrating?" And I said, "Because the perfect champion for this. Like, I love both women." And I thought both women, as much as people kept saying, both women deserve this, both women wanted it. Yeah, but character-wise, she's going to become the most annoying Karen in existence that I'm so looking... Her ring gear was pictures of herself. It was so good.
It was so good. Well, here's the thing. Bianca Belair does that all the time. She's had ring gear with herself on it. Why can't Chelsea Green have it? But it was so perfect. And you know what annoys me? Is the one leg.
Yeah.
I hate when Ruby wears them. But it's exactly who Chelsea
isn't the one leg thing a bit of homage to woo woo woo?
Yeah. Boo. Boo boo boo. Yes, but I do think it is inspired. I think even the print was right, that the print is very similar to something from 2010 when he was Intercontinental Champion. Very loud "Let's Go Chelsea" chants. she's a star. What can I
Yeah.
say? She's a star.
And do you know what made it even more perfect? 7 years to the day she won her first ever world title in TNA, and she won the US title. And we will talk about this as well. And Mike, the ref, has come in saying that finish will be shown 50 years from now,
Mhm.
describing how these women are technically wizards of the promotion. Absolutely. And very much so this, the United States, very much looking for see the way that they go with this as well. But yeah, I'll let you carry on. It was just I can't scream this from the rooftops enough. I love this.
Absolutely. I think this match between the two of them, I didn't think that there was going to be a bad match, right?
No.
They have chemistry. They've fought each other before. They're fantastic. Character work, everything. Chelsea Green dominating in the beginning really had me going for a little bit because I was worried that there would be too much shenanigans, especially with Piper Niven being on the outside, which storyline or not, like I sometimes hate it when it's like the first ever, right? We saw that with the first ever women's Money in the Bank, where
No chin.
No Chin had to grab the title belt. And I was like, oh, another thing that could be ruined by shenanigans. Like when you have the first ever blank for the women, I hate that that is mentioned. So I was worried for a minute that it was going to be too much shenanigans leading to someone getting screwed over. But I think it was every bit of perfect. It wasn't the overly saturated bloodline shenanigans where it's very NWO, who's coming out next, who's coming from wherever. It was just perfect shenanigans. There were so many suplexes that I don't think that either of them could probably see straight at the end. I think that Chelsea Green hit there. I didn't even write any notes about it, but
I didn't because I was very much so intrigued.
This was one of the matches that I don't have as many notes for because I was watching it. But
just that finish.
Yeah, the finish was so good, and you can watch clips of it. They're littered everywhere because that's going to be what's going to be on repeat.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention that distracting the referee makes the referee look cheap. I don't care what promotion you're in. The referee getting distracted easily multiple times is kind of womp womp for me. But Piper Niven is excellent at what she does. And I was a little bit worried when Piper Niven was paired with Eva Marie, but these two are just two peas in a pod, and I love every bit of it. But that unprettier, it was beautiful right at the end, securing that Women's United States Championship. What more can you say? Chelsea Green is everything.
Yeah, and it very much so. And she deserves it. I'm now really looking forward to seeing what they do next with that title, to see how they're going to do it.
I also want to mention, I'm so sorry.
Go for it.
I also want to mention Michin, whatever you want to call Mia Yim. Her ring awareness is top tier beyond what I think anyone gives her credit for. Whether it's, feet placed on ropes or where to hit moves so that, the other wrestler can be pointed towards the camera or where the ref is. I think she's so good at it. And you don't really realize it because it seems so seamless. And on the Women's Classic Wrestling podcast, we are going through the Mae Young Classic. And that's one thing that I've noticed because Mia Yim is that her ring awareness is top tier from a lot of these newbies who they don't know where those camera angles are going to be. They don't know really where the ropes are going to be. Mia Yim has always had it. And I really want to highlight that in this match because I want you to go back and watch. There's a couple spots of like where the German suplex went and into a tornado DDT and where the ropes are and how they get up on the ropes. It was just so good. So good.
Very much so. So, congratulations to Chelsea Green. I'm going to give you a 10 out of 10 for this match. And
I'll
you've
give it a
really,
10 out of 10.
yeah,
Look at that.
look
I'm
at
giving
that.
him a 10.
So, if you look on X as well, Nick Aldis has gone, please help us, after saying congratulations. And Adam Pearce has tweeted going, I need a drink. So the storytelling is already happening. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into our main event of the evening, where we heard commentators talk during ad breaks about what they're going to be doing, or the main talking points to do going forward, which to me, some people going, that was poor production. Yes, but also I actually quite like listening to what they were saying and how they do these type of things. I was like, oh, okay, we're getting a new insight to this. But before we do that, there's a few people here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be letting you know exactly what is going to be coming up tonight and tomorrow, but also something's a cooking.
Coming soon. To OLE. See you soon.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Throws a coin and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway.
I just saw on the calendar that there was meant to have been a final resolution. It got cancelled due to the fact of I couldn't stay up because I had work in the morning. So I'm going to do my quick breakdown of it, okay? As you guys are here, quick breakdown. First match, great opener. It was, I can't fucking remember. I'll tell you the match I really didn't like. That was the fucking match. What the fucking match was it? And the Trent Seven versus Ace Austin match. Hated it, despised it. Trent Seven did every heelish move that you could think of, every finisher he had, and somehow still lost. Worst booking of the night. Moose put in first match, Moose versus Kushida. Great match. Tag title match. The tables match. Got confused of how those rules worked, but good match. Hardy Boys at the back at their best, sort of. And then we had in the Joe Hendry winning the absolutely incredible Fatal 4-Way match. Really good match. Really enjoyed it. And the main event, Dolph Ziggler beat AJ Francis. That's all you need to know. That happened with no JBL. Okay.
No JBL. No JBL.
We like JBL. JBL comes in and clotheslines people. That is for fun. And a certain wrestler has returned to TNA, which has caused a lot of problems. I don't know if I can comment on that. I want to, but I'm not going to. We will see how things go. We will see. But now we're going to get into our main event of the evening. And it was this. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Winged Championship, Undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Fucking too many words. So, over match thoughts. I'm going to go to you first with this. What were your thoughts of the match, not what I'm reading online right now? Not what's happened after.
So seeing that legendary belt, right? The beautiful winged eagle. I can't even say it.
No, you just like tweeting during the show. I've ordered that T-shirt. I just saw that.
Yeah. I was doing that during the ad break. I saw it pop up and I was like, add to cart. That's also the greatest thing about quick pay with PayPal is that I just press it and I
The temptation to buy it.
Okay, but that new Chelsea green shirt is so good. I don't like things usually with American flag stuff on it, but it's so good. But yeah, Adam Cole, Michael Cole couldn't say winged eagle either.
I know. We've all struggled with it tonight.
But absolutely, the moment the bell rang, Kevin Owens rolled right out of the ring. Because he's a dickish heel, and I love it. I like his psychology of, I'm just going to make Cody Rhodes tired with his own momentum, which is exactly what parents do with their children, because they have so much energy, and I just watch them, you tire yourself out. That's what you're doing. And when you're tired is when I'm going to take advantage of the power dynamic situation, whether it's making them go to bed early or, in Kevin Owens' case, winning this championship. How embarrassing for you, Cody Rhodes. The crowd was totally into Kevin Owens. They didn't want anything really to do with Cody Rhodes other than his whoa part of his little entrance. I get it. Because we wanted Kevin Owens to win. I knew he wasn't going to win, but there's heat between them that feels further than we are coworkers who have to fight. It feels a little personal in this aspect, whether it's, see, you know.
So there's a camera angle that has just come to my light for what has just happened. So here is exactly what he has done.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're gonna make Cody go out for a while.
Yeah, and then if you haven't seen it already, I'm going to see if I can try and find it. But yeah, we've seen stuff tonight. Gunther coming to the back saying he is now the greatest wrestler that has ever existed. When he was literally walking out of the back. Which is not wrong, to be fair. Also, WWE have just posted this onto their X account. I'm not promoting X whatsoever because I can't stand it. But this is the camera. This is the angle that.
Oh, this is good. Look at. Oh my God! Imagine your boss getting in your face like that. Is too emotionally, there's so much tension in between. That shove. They're very good actors. I do have to say, because why would you have this angle if it wasn't a shoot? Come on. But this is good. This is good. Also, Kevin Owens looks more main eventy than he did a year ago.
Absolutely.
He looks good.
But yeah, very much. It looks like that this is the story that's going to be going on for a while now. And I do like, there's a lot of complaints now online of why have they done this? What is going to happen to the story moving forward? That's the whole point. You don't know what's going to happen. So make sure you tune into SmackDown to find out what happens. That type of thing is going to be going on from that. But overall, I would say this match was good. It did what it needed to do. Jesse Ventura on the commentary box as well, putting in a great heel performance. Absolutely. If you were a heel commentator and you wanted to know a way of how to piss people off, do what he did. He absolutely nailed it. 40 years not being with the company. And he admitted recently on a podcast, I think it was Chris Van Vliet, where he says he doesn't watch the product anymore, doesn't watch any professional wrestling anymore. But he said the only thing that got him back into it was Triple H reaching out to him. And because I'm not saying his name anymore, but when the dementia era decided not to be around anymore, he and a brother decided to not, and because he doesn't get on with Triple H, that he now wants to do more stuff. And to see him back and hearing his voice and being the heel character again was great to see. Referees wearing old school referee attire as well, holding up the wing belt as well. The whole presentation of Saturday Night Main Event. I think they should do this again next year. But I think they should do it as Saturday night's main event as a premium live event. With the longevity of it as well. That you can see here as well. You could tell during that with Joe that Jesse needed a call sheet to promo. Yeah, you could tell he wasn't fully up to the crisp of things. Joe Tessitore really helped him out. By the way, can we just say as well, Joe Tessitore, since he's become commentator for Raw, has done an absolutely phenomenal job. The way he calls matches with Wade Barrett. We know that coming in January, it's going to be Michael Cole and Pat McAfee that will be doing Netflix Raw. So I'm hoping that Joe Tessitore will now do SmackDown with Corey Graves and Wade Barrett. That could be a really good trio for that as well. But I think if I'm going to, with the ending of what's happening, now I'm more invested in what's going to happen with Kevin Owens. Randy Orton won't be back for a little while now because they need to sell that power driver. And they need Cody Rhodes to sell that power driver as well. You can't be having him coming back 2 weeks in SmackDown and doing a Cody cutter from out of nowhere because that's just going to make zero sense whatsoever. But great ending. Really enjoyed that. Overall, I think the only thing I would say what was wrong with Saturday Night Main Event was the ad breaks. In that sort of it got like a normal show vibe from it, and I don't think it needed to be. But for me, if I'm going to rate it out of 10 for the overall product, I'm going to knock it down a couple of points just because of the ad breaks. I'm going to give it an 8. 7.5. I moaned at you earlier for doing half a point, but I'm joining the bandwagon of doing it. Auntie Collins, I want to hear your final wrap up of what you thought of Saturday Night Main Event and what will you give it overall.
So you didn't ask me what my...
Oh, yeah, sorry, I do apologize.
For the match. I would have given it 8 out of 10 only because, yes, the ad breaks kind of held it back. But these guys, again, I like how you said earlier in the night, the venom, right? In between it. More so on Kevin Owens' part because I feel like he is needing to be vindicated here. But there is that Randy Orton. Hi, Randy. That part just... The way they tell stories is everything, with Cody having that ankle injury or whatever, and now the ending. That's what sold it for me. But overall, this show, for being kind of like a bonus SmackDown episode, I would give it like the nostalgia was great, the matches were great, the intensity of the matches were great. A little bit predictable, the ad breaks, but I loved the pyro and I loved, the production value of it. I loved the stage.
And we heard backstage stuff that we weren't meant to.
Yeah, there were some things. A little bit of a botch here. I don't know about y'all, but there were ads for me. Then there were spaces where there weren't any ads and it was just a blank screen, but the logo was still on the bottom. So just things that could have been tightened up. Yeah. Probably 8 out of 10. Great. great nostalgia pop, and I hope that they do another one because I liked these.
Very much so. Very much so. Better than anything AEW's done.
False.
mm,
Statistically, mathematically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, false.
well, we talked about foreplay earlier and saying in your bad toe.
All of the things. Some shows have been better.
We have had an absolutely incredible show. We're going to end things off in a minute by knowing it, but we're going to do a quick roundup of things for it. We talked about the first match where we had 99 problems, but Drew McIntyre made Sami Zayn not one of them. Then we went into the Liv Morgan versus Io Sky match. But before we did that, we discussed a lot of things, talking about the Huktua meme coin. We then discussed this, and we thought overall it was a great match. Ad breaks ruined it. We then went into the triple threat match that I think we both agreed was probably our top second place match of the night, due to the fact of what happened after that, with the Ring General now coming out on top and getting his mojo back. We then saw Mia Yim versus Chelsea Green to become the inaugural first ever United States Women's Champion, and Chelsea Green era has begun. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we finished off with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, where we discussed the match and now the pile driver and Triple H getting physical with Kevin Owens as well. So, but all that says now is you got to tune into Raw and tune into SmackDown to make sure to see where the follow-on to that story goes. But before we get going, Auntie Collins, please tell the people, the mass, the legends, where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
Well, you can find me anywhere there's social media. So _queer auntie, whether it's X, Blue Sky, they don't like underscore, so I'm just queer auntie on there. I'm hanging out on TikTok as long as TikTok is going to be around. Totally blows because I've made some pretty nice coin over there where I haven't been able to make it on other social media sites, which kind of sucks. It sucks.
Yep.
It's a nice creative outlet, but follow me anywhere there is a social media site so you don't want to miss when I'm going live. Sundays, I'm over at Fightful Overbooked. We're talking about how wrestling makes us cry. My co-host Kylie and I, she keeps me in check. Otherwise, I'd just be crying over everything. On Mondays, I'm doing a show on this channel called Women's Classic Wrestling. I have two wonderful other co-hosts of Astrid and Melball Collins. They keep me in check because I will go on rants all day long because that's who I am as a person. And then I am back here on Thursday evenings talking about Ring of Honor on our post show of Honor Ramble. It is the Goodbye Kimmy Farewell Tour right now because she is retiring from wrestling media. So watch me be emotional every single week, and hopefully I'll find a replacement for the show of who is brave enough to join me to talk about Ring of Honor week after week. But we're going to have a lot of fun. And then next week is Final Battle on Friday, the 20th. So we are going to be doing a post show. So keep your eyes on the channel for all of that.
Perfect. Well, that leads into me being selfish now and talk about me because I love talking about me. So if you don't know already, I do a WWE 2K24 save with Bobby Munson and Lauren Goodnight. They are the general man. Lauren Goodnight is the general manager of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Bobby Munson is the general manager for TNA. And there was a cash-in happened recently with the Money in the Bank briefcase, leading to SummerSlam that is coming up for you starting Monday. We've got an Evolution show every other Sunday, all women's show, where we will be having, and I can't stress this enough, one of the biggest backwards and forwards of shows. Okay, I could give a little pointer. Let's just say the Bloodline have a female member and they have adopted her. So make sure you go and check out who that is, what they're doing, where they're going moving forward. And on Mark Talks Football, we have got me and Bobby Munson taking South Shields, this small team up near Newcastle, and trying to get them to the Premier League as quickly as possible. So make sure you go and check that out as well. I have no control over transfers, nothing. So all I do is the tactics and make sure that we can win. That is it. But with love, with care, my name's been Mark. That has been Auntie Collins. And I tell you what, Saturday night main event needs to stay around. Peace.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love